Hello, you've caught me beginning my Friday feature, as I often like to do, with a joke.
It's okay, you don't need to laugh. It's a maths joke, and you'll only understand it if you like maths. And who the hell likes maths?
Oh, shut up. No, you don't. No, you don't. What? You want me to ask you a really hard maths question? All right. What is 67 multiplied by 28? Fair enough.
Video game jokes, on the other hand, now we can understand those, can't we? Cheeky little asides developers have hidden away that you wouldn't look twice at if you weren't a gamer, but that us lot can appreciate and have a little giggle at.
Here are 7 video game in-jokes you'll only understand if you're a real fan.
Speaking of in-jokes, our first entry is from Metal Gear Solid 3, go on Dave, in-joke away, and happens when Snake infiltrates Groznygrad for a sneaky chat with Shagohod engineer Sokolov. This is the enemy's main base, however, and as good as Snake is at painting his face the same colour as the floor, he needs something a little extra to break into the fortress depths.
Enter Major Ivan Rydenovich Rykov, a Soviet soldier who bears more than a passing resemblance to a certain less than popular character from Metal Gear Solid 2.
You can almost hear Kojima giggling to himself with every step Rydenovich takes. I mean, we as fans weren't particularly subtle in our dislike of Raiden, and so the decision to put him in Metal Gear Solid 3 and call him Raiden twice must have been a hilarious joke over at Kojima Productions. Anyway, to progress, you'll need to knock Rydenovich unconscious and steal his uniform, which means, yes, once again, we have to see Raiden as good as naked, just like we didn't want to see in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Add the Rydenovich face mask and you're as good as controlling Raiden all over again.
Maybe this is Kojima telling us, look guys, the game still plays the same, doesn't it? Get over it. But then he lets us enjoy a scene where Colonel Volgin sees through Snake's disguise by deducing those nether regions do not belong to his favourite blonde pet.
I know the Major better than anyone else.
You can keep him, Volgin, and his Thunderbolt thong.
Next up is a hilariously self-deprecating joke hidden inside Uncharted 4 by developer Naughty Dog. Cast your mind back to that unbelievable gameplay demonstration at E3 2015 and you might remember a small technical hiccup at the start where Drake just stood there for the first few moments waiting for player commands that never came.
Bloody live events. Anyway, the demo was rebooted, everything was amazing, and everyone forgot the bit at the beginning because they were too busy picking their jaws up off the floor.
Naughty Dog didn't forget, however. If you reach the same part of Uncharted 4 during the Madagascar chapter and don't move Drake for approximately 30 seconds, you'll unlock a trophy called Stage Fright, forever immortalising Nate's initial reluctance to show off in front of all of E3, while simultaneously proving Naughty Dog don't mind having a little chuckle at their own expense.
It does help if you've made Uncharted 4, to be fair.
We're thinking back to 2007 for our third entry, a time when I had hair, when owning touchscreen technology still got you burned at the stake, and when Kingdom Hearts 2 was still the latest main entry instalment in the series.
It was also a time when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare had my PS3 on absolute lockdown.
Nothing else went in, and it definitely didn't come out. Even as a man raised on a heavy diet of turn-based role-playing games, this was something special. I played it relentlessly, even to the point I became okay at the multiplayer, and like anyone at university with endless free hours to spend pointlessly on the internet, I found the bit where you could glitch through a rooftop and fall through the fabric of the level.
It was one of those lovable glitches. It acted as a sort of wormhole across the level and allowed you to travel from one end to the other in super quick time.
There was even a secret machine gun hidden in there, but anyway, imagine my delight when upon reaching the same point in Modern Warfare Remastered on PS4, I found a little nod to the old rooftop glitch lovingly carefully inserted by developer Raven Software. There's a caution wet surface sign in the exact spot you could fall through. So not only have they fixed the secret hole, and let's take a moment to appreciate altogether what a flippin' amazing remaster this is, they've also shown a connection with the audience that simultaneously makes us laugh and also pine for the good old days of just 4 lectures a week.
Seriously guys, study film and television.
Injokes. They're a strange and wonderful thing. Without context, they're flat, devoid of life, and completely barren. But if you're in the know, if you're aware of the vast history behind an in-joke, especially one that's been running nearly every week for at least a year, well, in those instances, in-jokes can be massively entertaining.
Brian Cox, everybody. And for entry number 4, you really do need to be in the know, as we've got a double in-joke that sees 2 mighty developers trolling each other to hilarious effect.
Does everybody remember Driver 2? It was the game where Tanner got out of the car.
Unlike the original Driver, where our hero was chained to the wheel of one car, in Driver 2, Tanner could commandeer other vehicles and drive them around an open-world city to his heart's content. Much like that other open-world game with cars and getting out of cars.
Rockstar took note of what Reflections were doing with Driver 2, and in GTA 3 gave them just a little poke in the ribs.
There was a mission in Grand Theft Auto 3 called Two-Faced Tanner, where you had to kill a strangely animated cop who's useless outside of his car. Shots fired.
Reflections riposte came in Driver 3, or Driv 3R to pronounce it properly, where you had to kill a guy called Timmy Vermicelli.
An obvious reference to GTA Vice City protagonist Tommy Vercetti, Timmy is a violent madman who indiscriminately shoots at pedestrians while wearing a floral Hawaiian shirt. And also armbands, because he can't swim.
Top banter, guys. Top bants.
Going back to PS4 remasters of genre-defining PS3 classics, I've been playing Skyrim Special Edition loads recently, pushing my cumulative playtime in Bethesda's RPG masterpiece from silly 100 hours to about silly 100 hours and 50. I'm being reminded of why I love the game so much, a beautiful world to explore that still, after 5 years, feels fresh and alive and constantly surprising. The freedom to grow your character however you like, and the unintentionally hilarious dialogue of the various city guards.
This one time, I just clobbered a dragon to death by standing in front of its mouth while it belched fire at me and repeatedly smacking it in the head with a steel mace. Pretty badass, I thought, strutting off back into town, only for one of the guards to mock me by asking if I'd lost my sweet roll.
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
Bloody cheek. How about you fight the next one, and I will pointlessly walk around in front of Dragon's Reach until my AI programming peters into oblivion. The classic line, however, is of course,
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
The stuff of meme legend. Is there a more famous line in video game history?
The in-joke for entry number 5 actually occurs in The Witcher 3, however, the other massive, beautiful open-world fantasy RPG, and happens in the Hearts of Stone expansion. Shani and Geralt are trying to enter the academy but are blocked by 2 guards. One of them, Norbert, is being a particular ass, and so Shani kindly reminds him of the time she patched up his knee.
By the way, how's your knee?
Fine. Dandy. As if no arrow ever struck it.
He used to be an adventurer like you, then he took an arrow to the knee, and now he's just a boring guard. Bonus points, though, for use of the word dandy.
What on earth are you playing?
Saints Row 4.
This looks even more ridiculous than that final fantastic nonsense you play. What are you doing here?
Creating my character.
So childish. What's so funny?
It's just one of the options for your voice is just says Nolan North.
Why is that funny? Who's Nolan North?
It's a video game in joke.
and one I don't have much video capture for, hence the really long mum skit to cover it. But yes, Saints Row 4's clever little joke about the prevalence of Nolan every game north is even more hilarious when you consider Mr. North probably spent a few days in a voice booth for a game where most players won't even hear him speak. But it's funny, so well worth it. Our final entry this week is from PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, a game as full of in-jokes and Easter eggs as it is PlayStation icons bashing each other senseless, and it's got lots of those. My favourite in-joke, however, has to be the game's final boss, Polygon Man. If you're unfamiliar with his story, it begins at the dawn of PlayStation. Polygon Man was a mascot designed to show off the powerful graphics capabilities of the new machine. He barely saw the light of day, however, before being replaced by characters like Parappa the Rapper and Nathan Drake. All-Stars Battle Royale's story suggests Polygon Man has been hiding away for 20 years, resentment and bitterness growing as the likes of Kratos, Sackboy and Nathan Drake grace the PlayStation stage. Until he gets his revenge by floating about in the final fight and laughing maniacally until you inevitably end him again. Poor old Polygon Man. At least you actually got to be in a game, finally, and probably never again. But anyway, there are 7 video game in-jokes only real fans will understand. Please do let us know in the comments if you can think of any others hidden away in your favourite games. Leave a like on this video to keep my batteries running, and please do subscribe if you haven't yet for more of these videos every Friday. Thanks for watching.